Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan here. Today we're going to be coming at you with another Armory update. Today is, I believe, Armory number 4. And I decided to play something a little bit different. I went back to my very first ever champion, or hero. His name is Teklovossen. If you don't know what Teklovossen does, he's essentially Iron Man, and that's how he was described to me to get me into the game, as I'm very much so into this style of play. But basically what Teklo states is you can play your evos from your banished zone. So if any of your evos are banished, you can play them from your banished zone. So it's like action points, but once per turn, instant, you can pay 3 resources, and you can play your next evo this turn as though it were an instant, even from banish or hand. When you do, draw a card. So it allows you to cheat out on your opponent's turn to, go ahead and equip stuff. It allows you to draw up through equipping. It allows you to block effectively into a lot of the matchups that you should normally lose into and then be able to equip into in Singularity. But Teklo is one big fatigue combo piece. So this is kind of a list that the Discord community had put together, and I kind of just made some tweaks to the cards I had. Probably not the biggest difference is I played Sift over Truce, and I definitely agree Truce is a better card. I just don't own Truce right now. But yeah, for armor, it was simply Adaptive Dissolver, simply because starting with AB is amazing right now. I played 3 Adaptive Dissolver with Cog Workspace Legs and Teklo Leveler, which is basically Teklo's version of the Teklo pistol. The more evos you have, the better it gets. Eventually becoming a 1 cost 3 go again. So I did play the yellow Count Your Blessings. Count Your Blessings states gain X life, where X is 3 plus the number of Count Your Blessings in your graveyard. So I played Rainbow Count Your Blessings. I played Scrap Trader. Scrap Trader was good to block with your evos and then send a turn with a blue in your hand to gain 4 scrap. Or gain 4 material resources off of 2 scrap of your armor. Pitch to the Teklo instant, equip a piece of armor and draw a card. So very, very effective. Scrap Trader is very good. Singularity is kind of like your end all be all last piece, basically. Once you have all 4 evos equipped, and obviously you've gotten them farther enough down, because once you do this, you put yourself on a clock. You turn into your ally down here, which is Teklovossen the Micropotent, which has action, banish 2 cards from your soul, attack. Whenever this attack attacks a hero, they discard a card. All Mechanologist attack action cards can go again, and this counts as having 4 evos equipped with Battle Worn. It's 6/3 intellect, and has whatever health you swapped him when you swapped, and it's 6 power. You can attack with him, so you do become a weapon and an armor piece, which is kind of cool. It's a fatigue list, so naturally you're going to have your defense reactions like Sink Below. Terminator Tank and War Machine are very special to the list. Terminator Tank states if it hits, they have to discard a card. If you have 2 or more evos, it costs 3 less to play, so from 6 down to 3, that's 1 blue. If you have 3 more evos, that has overpower. If you have 4, it gains 3, so it's a 9 for 3. Really good when you're fully equipped. War Machine is very much the same way, only it just states when it hits, destroy all cards in their arsenal. So like a CNC, same thing. 2 more evos, 3 or less to play. 3 more, you get overpower. 4 more, it becomes a 9 swinging. We've talked about the Count Your Blessings. I am playing the full package, red, yellow, blue, 9. Call to the Grave. Really good card. I underrated it. I thought it was a bad card, but no, super good. Search your deck for a card, put it in your graveyard, and then shuffle. So usually what you'll do is you'll call to the grave your blue, count your blessings early in the game, and then just get way more value out of your yellow and red. So it's something I actually had happen today, and it was very, very, I actually want to say it secured me the game, right? I had already been winning, but it secured me the game. Then you have your Evo equipment. Still Soul Controller, memory, processor, tower. These are just mandatory pieces for Teklo, as they give you more armor, or more health per piece you put on. And you can continually equip them over. So say you block twice with your controllers, you get a new controller in your hand or your banish, you can equip it, and then it's fresh. It has the 3 more block, you can go again. Junkyard Dog as a blue is just very good. If when it attacks, you can strap, which gets any of the items or equipment, like your chest, legs, etc., from your graveyard to your banish zone. It gets 1, so it's coming for 4 or 5. And it swings for 3s, and it blocks for 3. So it's very good. But setting up and getting your combo pieces where they need to be. As I said, this is where Truce should be. Sift is another great budget option. It allowed me to see in my attacks where I needed them today, so I wouldn't say it was a bad option. But basically, you just put 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck and draw 2. So very good. Still Street Enforcement. After having more knowledge into the game and having like how to play, like this card's very good. Getting to block 4 to 5 is just very strong for 1 card, and in it being a blue, because it gets +1 defense for each Evo you have. And then we played Throttle, which is just a very good generic kitties. It's just a very good generic 4 for 3 attack. Warmonger's Diplomacy. I would have played 3. I only played the one I owned. This is what I should have played. Again, I changed it for Sift. I didn't change it for this. I just played this rounds on me instead. I played 2 this rounds on me and then 1 Warmongers, and that was the only difference. Another T-Tank and Annihilate, you know, so it's just one of those cards you can boost with the Evos and send for 9. It's very good. I like it. This is going to be great for the dash, when the dash IO list is running around. Basically, when it attacks, you can remove all Steam counters from up to X equipment, items, or weapons an opponent controls, where X is the number of Evos you have equipped. So you can remove up to 4, which is really cool. Fabricate is really strong because you can put it under your pieces, allowing Teklo more swings. It also gives your permanents you control +1, so when they check to destroy themselves, technically they still have that +1. So if they go to 3, they wouldn't technically destroy due to game rules, because it's still checking as it has +1. So it doesn't destroy. You don't lose your armor. Very good card. Fate Foreseen. Your fatigue, gotta see it. Very good. Very good defense reaction. Oasis for Spike. It's kind of the same thing, especially with all the arcane running around. You just kind of gotta respect it. I played 3 Unmovable. The originalist played 2. I really like Immovable. I think Immovable is one of the better defense reactions because it just kind of covers up a whole turn for the most part. I mean, a few may trickle, but for the whole most part, you know, there it is. And then you just play the Evo line for AB, and then Visitronics. As I said, it's a super combo heavy, super fatiguey list. If you're not equipping armor, you're healing, and at the end of the game, when you're fully equipped, you start to send T-tanks and war machines. My cat's messing around. But yeah, so I went 3-0 on this tonight. Teklovossen took me pretty far, got me undefeated in the first place. Round one, we played against a Bravo, which he was a high roll Bravo, so he was just sending like turn after turn, like just huge like choke slams and stuff like that, which I ended up getting, but it was just problematic because I hadn't played the deck in a while, so like I'd gotten rid of most of my attacks. I had pitched 2 attacks very early in the game that I was waiting to cycle around to end the game when time was called, and he knew it, so he just gave me the match. Round 2, I played against New, another good friend of mine. New being one of this deck's like anti matchups. Like if you don't really understand how to play around stealth, you just get kind of trounced because you can't really protect with any of your armor with into the stealth cards. So you have to do it all from hand. But like say if you start putting your armor pieces from your hand into the stealth cards, then you can play them from banish off Teklo's ability, which is what I did, which is what helped me in both matchups. But he was doing amazing, you know, damage. I was down to like 16 at one point, but then I saw 2 count your blessings turns back to back, 3 total, put me back up in the 30s, and he just kind of got defeated at the card, which I understand. The card's kind of lackluster in the sense of playing against and seeing all your work just kind of get diminished for the past 3 turns. So he kind of scooped it up there, but still love the dude to death. Very good playing with him. I understand Count Your Blessings not a fun card, but very good for this deck because it allows it to finally come online, stay alive long enough to come online. Right? It's always been its problem, and it's never stayed alive long enough to come online. Round 3 again, New. This was the undefeateds into each other. This New was going a little bit different route. He played more of a fatiguey list. He kept trying to banish shit out of my hand, but I would just put armor pieces from my hand into my banish zone and then play into them. He finally caught on to that and stopped doing that, like probably 80% of the way through the match. It was a close match, but like I ended up with plenty of pieces under me still, and he had 1 health left. I blocked, went down to 1 purposefully so I'd have 2 attacks and a Teklovossen swing that I could swing into him, and so he conceded on the next turn due to the amount of damage that and card rip Teklo does when he is Singularity. His end game is just really strong, right? If you can play it right, it's just there's a lot that goes into setting it up. It's really combo heavy. You really have to understand what your pitch is, where your pitch is, and Count Your Blessings is a gimmick, right? It's only gonna get you so far. There are gonna be people that have the Poison the Well in their card system or in their card pool. I had it in mine. I teched it several times. Didn't need it today, but the people are going to have it, right? And you are going to eventually go to heal for 12 while you're at 8 and just get global because you do heal for it. I don't think the card is good because you have to tech for it, and if you don't tech for it, you just kind of lose to it in certain decks. But as well, if you know, it just, I don't know. In my opinion, it's unhealthy for the game, but it makes me happy to be able to see some of the lesser heroes actually get to be able to play and do something because they can stay online long enough to get their gimmick out, right? Because it just takes so much to get their gimmick out or going. Like getting all 4 pieces on is pretty much takes a whole game, right? And then getting into the Singularity and putting enough damage before Singularity so you don't run out of pieces while you're Singularity. So it's a very fun deck. It's just one of those decks that is very combo heavy and you have to be really in love with the style of play. I got spoiled with Dash. I'm really spoiled with Dash, especially Dash IE. So but it was cool. This was a first place win for Teklo, my very first champion that I got into the game with, And I appreciate you guys for watching, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next one.